Hey everybody, this is Brian with Bear Cards 34, back with another Top 10 Favorite Cards series. This is my Top 10 Favorite Cards from 1979, and these three right here are honorable mentions. These are three of the cards that didn't quite make my Top 10, but that I've always loved. So if you watched my first video, I do mention in that this is not the Top 10 highest value cards necessarily, and they're not necessarily your top 10, right? It's very subjective, and I loved getting in the comments of who your favorite cards and players were from the set from 1978. So now I'm going to jump into 1979, and like I mentioned in that first video, I started with 1978 tops because those were the oldest cards that I ever opened. I opened them back in like 1987, but my LCS had a lot of older packs, and so it was a lot of fun to be able to collect some of those cards. So when I started collecting cards, that was about the time Steve Largent set the record as the all-time leading receiver, and so it was really exciting to be able to get some of his older cards. And Joe Theismann was a guy that I was a fan of, and just like with the 78 set, was very excited when I pulled his card, and I think that's a really nice image of him. And John Jefferson, who had an awesome career, his first handful of years with the Chargers, he was fantastic. That's his rookie card. Yeah, he had 1,001 yards as a rookie the season before that card came out. So those are three honorable mentions, and I do have a few others. I love this card right here. Franco Harris is one of the best running backs of all time. Big fan of his. But on the bottom left there, you'll see head coach Tony Dungy. That is his rookie card, and that's his only card in the NFL. And so that's a really cool card, one of my favorites for sure. I was also a big fan of Wilbert Montgomery. This card right here, this is his rookie card. His rookie season, it's his second year. He had 183 yards as a rookie, and then 1,200 yards in year number 2. But that was the first card that Topps made of him. And so, again, that's another card that I'm a fan of. And then we've got the Steve DeBerg rookie card right here. So when I was collecting cards, 87, 88, he was kind of just a backup, didn't really see much from him. He played with Tampa Bay after the 49ers, and then he really had a long, long career and did really well with Kansas City Chiefs. I think he was on the Falcons, and he really played well in the 90s, really, as an older veteran quarterback, and so I was really happy to be able to pick up that card back in the day. And then Al Bubba Baker, he was a great, great player. I mean, some people would say he should be in the Hall of Fame, right? I don't think he is, but great player as well. Love this Terry Bradshaw. That's a really great one as well. And then two last honorable mentions. This Roger Staubach, I love that card. I mean, maybe that should be in my top 10. I had a hard time not having that in there. And then this one as well. So you got Terry and Roger right there. There's also this great passing leaders card of the two of them. So those are my honorable mentions, and now I'll go ahead and jump into my top 10 favorite cards from 1979 Topps. Okay, number 10 is June Jones. He was a coach for a while, you might remember him from his coaching days. But I love this card. Kind of like the Landry card in 78. I just love the mud, and that's a better card. But I really love this one, just his kind of messed up, torn up jersey, all that mud as well. Just a really cool card. I'm a sucker for the cards where they're just dirty and caked in mud, and so I really like that one. And I remember when I first saw that card as a kid, really liking that one. My number 9 is Alan Page. Obviously best known for his years with the Minnesota Vikings, but I love that he also played with the Chicago Bears, and he did well with the Bears as well. And so for me, that's a card that I really love because he's one of the great players of all time. Such an impressive person on and off the field, and his career after the NFL is extremely impressive as well. Then we have Lyle Alzado. I'm telling you, I don't think he really has a bad card. He just has great cards, and I love this one as well. Anytime you've got that All-Pro designation on the card, I think it really makes it pop. I really, really like that. And just another great card of Lyle Alzado. Okay, so my next card, 7th favorite card, would be this Ricky Bell rookie card. So he was actually drafted in 1977, but does not have a 1978 card. So this is his first year rookie card. And I became a really big fan of his thanks to NFL Films. They have a really good little documentary on him and his life, which really connected me to him. I had never heard of him until I saw the NFL Films. And I'll try to include a link to that in the video. So if you haven't checked that out, that's a really good one. And they also made a movie for him, about his life in the 90s. I think it's called Triumph of the Heart, the Ricky Bell story, starring Mario Van Peebles. And it's pretty good, but the documentary's great. So I'll include a link to that. In fact, I really liked him so much that I ended up picking up this autograph. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, DNA certified from PSA of Ricky Bell. And it's, this is like kind of, people weren't really signing with Sharpies back, when he was around. So it's just the pen right there. But I really like that card. Really happy to have an autograph of Ricky Bell. You can see there he had a great season in 1979, 1,263 yards. The Buccaneers did great that year. Ricky Bell was actually drafted ahead of Tony Dorsett. The Buccaneers head coach was Ricky's college coach as well, so they reunited. He had a great college career, but he was picked number one before Tony Dorsett, actually, who went on to become one of the great running backs of all time. And Ricky was definitely coming into his own, and then unfortunately had this really rare illness which took his life when he was very young. So it cut his career short, cut his life short. Really sad story there, but I've always really, really liked that card and appreciate that. So that's definitely in my top 10. My sixth favorite card, which if you can get this one in a PSA 10, it is worth some good money. That's Ozzie Newsome, tight end for the Browns, Hall of Fame tight end, went on to be a general manager with the Ravens, has had a lot of success after his playing days. But he's one of the great tight ends of all time. That's his rookie card as well, and love that card. Now we'll get into my top 5. So coming in at number 5 is James Lofton. That is his rookie card. He's a great receiver, Hall of Famer, one of my all-time favorite receivers, actually. And you know that someone's pretty good, pretty impressive when he's a Packer, and yet me as a Bears fan, I have always been a fan of his. Went on to the Raiders and then the Bills. I especially loved him with the Bills. And he returned, I did TTMs with him when I was a teenager and got some autographs back from him as well. So here's my James Lofton autograph that I got back. He was playing for the Bills at that time. He also autographed an index card for me. And that did remind me that I also did when we're talking about my honorable mentions with Steve DeBerg right here. He also sent me back some autographs when I was a kid. So that's his 1983 on the Broncos. And then he also signed this one right here with Kansas City. Alright, so next up is Doug Williams. That is his rookie card right there. I have really fond memories of him with the Washington Redskins when he and the Redskins upset the Denver Broncos. At least I think it was an upset. I had really expected the Broncos to win with John Elway. And Doug Williams played fantastic. He, was just great. He and Timmy Smith, the running back, just tore the Broncos apart. Sorry, Broncos fans. But I really was impressed by that game and became a big fan of his. So having his rookie card, especially way back then with the Buccaneers, I had never even heard of Doug Williams until that playoff run when they beat the Bears, which, oh man, that killed me. That was Walter's last game. Really disappointed in that, but I was very impressed with the way they played in the Super Bowl. So really happy to have that card. Now I'm doing a little bit of a cheat with my top 3, okay? And if you know this set very well, you probably know exactly who these players are, but maybe not the order. I went back and forth on this, and I think just because, okay, I'm a little biased, so I'm going to put this one at number 3, and that is the Earl Campbell rookie card. And I'm going to put this as 3A and this as 3B, because I love the record breaker card as well. In fact, I actually think this card looks nicer than his actual rookie card. I think the image is a little more clear, and just with the record breaker, I just really, really like that card. He was fantastic. He has amazing highlights as well. My favorite is the one where he's trying to be tackled. Well, he's not trying to be tackled. Players are trying to tackle him, and they're just tearing his shirt to pieces, and he just keeps going. It's great. And the other reason I love this these cards, is that due to, I think it was a contract, like a licensing thing, but he was not in any other sets during his playing days. So this was it. 1979, the year after his rookie season. Those are his cards, and that's it. You got these two cards. There's a team leader card as well, and one other one. But that's my number 3. And the same thing is going to apply to this one right here. So my number 2, my second favorite card, is Walter Payton, 1A, or 2A, and then also 2B, his record breaker. And the same thing, I love all of Walter's cards. The year before, 78, I think is a better, sharper looking card than this one. Although I do really like this one, I love this one. But I actually think this card is probably a little better as well. I really like that action shot against the Lions. And so that is my number 2. And for the final card, it's kind of a combination of the last two. I love that they made this card. I love that we have this card. And that is the 78 NFL leaders in rushing with Walter Payton and Earl Campbell. So that year, Earl Campbell led the NFL in rushing with 1,450 yards as a rookie, and Walter had almost as many yards, 1,395. And so just to have both of those two Hall of Fame running backs, two players that I just really, really admire and love the way they played. And I'm a sucker for running backs. That's my favorite position to watch, is a good running back, a good run. And especially back then, just the way they played was just fantastic. So that's my number 1 favorite card. I do have this, part of my Walter Payton PSA collection right there. So I do have a version there. I forgot to show the 78 when I did that video, but really love that. I wish that the airbrushing were not on these cards. I would love to see that same image with the C logo on it. But a great looking card right there nonetheless. And so yeah, you got two of the all-time great running backs on that rushing leaders card, and that is my favorite card from the 1979 Topps set. Alright, so that will do it for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. I did ask in my first video if I should do a top 5 or top 10. Everybody was saying to continue with the top 10, which I'm more than happy to do, so I'll continue to do these with the top 10. So next video in this series will be 1980, which again just had tops as far as like a main set. It wasn't until 89 really that football started having other sets as well, so that might give me a little more to think about as far as the top 10. But I'll be back with one for the 1980 set, which is basically this one right here, next go round. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Thanks everyone for commenting last time, and same thing applies today. If you guys have a favorite card or favorite top 5, top 10, or favorite cards of the 1979 Topps, let me know what those were for you guys. I'd be curious. And again, it's always subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder. But I think that's a really nice set. Really enjoy collecting and having that set. And that will do it for today. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you're all well. And as always, go Bears.